This week on the LaggSpike podcast, Jack is forced to agree with us, Sam does a cuss, and Matt says more than 3 words. Hello and welcome to the LaggSpike podcast. I'm your host, Mike Chalice. With me today, I have the still opinionated Jack Valentine.
Hello.
The man with the beard, Matt Bird.
How's it going?
And because we still can't fill the chair, Mr. Sam Landry.
Hi.
How we doing, guys?
Doing good.
This is episode 3 of our podcast. I've wanted to start off the podcast by telling all of our friends and stuff how much we appreciate their support. We've been getting a lot of really great feedback. We look forward to bringing you more podcasts. So without further ado, we're going to start with our weekly recap and talk about what we've been playing this week. Why don't we start with you, Sam?
Played Last of Us. I finally beat that.
That's good.
It was a great game.
What'd you think of that?
Loved all of it. Nothing about it I hated at all.
It's funny because right before this podcast, he was telling us a whole bunch of other stuff. And
moving on. I also played Diablo 3 on the PS4, which is quite fun. Enjoy that.
Yeah, you did.
Played some League, just like normal. Some PC games here and there, but just
right on.
Normal stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. What have you played, Jack?
I had been neglecting to play, but then found time to play the Swapper as a little really cool 2D puzzle platformer from Facepalm Games, published by Curve. They're doing just everything indie on the PlayStation platforms, it seems, right now. It's a phenomenal little game, and I mean, if you're into the puzzle platform and you haven't tried it, definitely give it a go. Other than that, been playing a little bit of Ho-Hokum still because I'm just loving that game. And Ho-Hokum, hashtag Ho-Hokum. and apart from that, just I assume you guys want me to tell you that I played a bit of Diablo 3 on console.
What'd you think of that?
I will admit that it was not for me, and I will move on.
Wow, that's probably the nicest thing I've heard him ever say.
Really?
At least on that topic.
At least on that topic, for sure.
I have some fundamental problems with the game that revolve around just game design concepts that I don't really like, but I am in a place now where there are no knives pointed at me, no loaded guns, I promise, listeners, and I can safely say that if you like the game, feel free to enjoy it. Now, please don't kill me, guys. Are you happy? I've said it now. Let my family go.
Do it again.
Say it like you mean it.
Yeah.
No,
Matt, what have you been playing this week, bud?
I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3 as well, doing some coach co-op with that as well as playing online, and also finally took the time to play Wolf Among Us, which was an amazing game.
I can't wait. Jack was just informing me that it's coming to next-gen consoles. I haven't had a chance to play any of those Telltale games yet. Amazing. Looking very forward to playing them. They seem like they're right up my alley. I really don't want to play them on the iPad, and I would prefer to play them on a console, so I'm just waiting for that. Other than that, though, I've been basically all in on Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition, I guess, even though it's basically Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. Loving it. Love that it's couch co-op. Love the mechanics they've added for the console version. I know Jack has some negative things to say about it. That being said, I love it. I've been having a blast with Sam and Matt playing. I think it's extremely accessible for people, and yeah, that's basically it. I can't believe I wasn't going to get it based on it was so close to Destiny's release, and I know I'm going to play the crap out of that game.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that.
What do you mean?
I pretty much.
He basically told me that I need to get it.
Diablo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
3 weeks is enough time to play it before Destiny, and I'm glad I got it, so. Yeah. And when Destiny comes out, I'll be taking a break from Diablo, but I know I'm going to play the crap out of Destiny, so.
I know I'm going to enjoy Destiny, despite
what you say. What we're saying?
The
belief that you don't like anything mainstream.
That is not true at all.
I mean, he does like Halo.
That's true.
Halo, Last of Us, the Uncharted games. I love a lot of AAA games, but it just and Destiny. What I've played of it, my main thing, like you were saying with Diablo, is like if you find that type of gameplay fun, like go good on you. But I was not. I kind of, I gave it a couple of hours and I was just like, I feel like it's it was a slug, and I wasn't moving with the game the way the game wanted me to move with it. And so when we talk about a game like Destiny, yeah, I've only played the beta, but I played, the crap out of the beta.
Yeah, I actually regret playing that much of the beta, to be honest with you.
It has given me a little more of a broad spectrum of what I'm expecting, though, and I know what characters I want to play first and all those kind of things, so I definitely don't regret any of it. However, just that style of game, it is a shooter, but, with that Bungie pedigree, and it's just got it's the type of fun shooter that I want to play if I'm going to play a shooter, and so that's how I'm
It's definitely different than the the military shooters we've been getting.
Yeah,
you're super excited for Call of Duty, right?
Which is nice.
Oh yeah, Kevin Spacey, Duty, Dog, futuristic.
I actually
war.
may pick up the new Call of Duty. It just they do
got your Day Zero edition.
Yeah,
got your double
yeah.
XP.
Yeah.
What?
No, I actually
Day
think
Zero?
Yeah.
Have you not heard about that?
If you pre-order the game, you get it. You get
A day early.
A day early, 24 hours of double XP. So all the COD nuts are gonna be eating that up.
All right, I'm gonna go just kill myself behind the shed now. I'm done with the world.
I actually do think that it looks like they're trying to change stuff finally, which is interesting. As
I'm
opposed
sure
to
I think they try and change little things every year, but it's just that they're. I'm not good at the multiplayer, and
it's too competitive.
I think that the way that people play it, where it's like, oh, you're a scrub because you don't have a 2.0 KD, and it's like, maybe
you're talking about more the.
Maybe I did have, one more death than I had kill this round, which is the problem I had with the. Sorry, not a problem, but something I did enjoy more about Titanfall, where it was like a Twitch shooter, and I could still find enjoyment in, okay, I only got 6 player kills, but I got 5 Titan kills, and I was playing a defensive role, and it's just
20 minion kills.
Yeah. Exactly. And it just that game did a really good job of making you feel good about just.
I think Destiny kind of did that too, because every time it actually like your KD and stuff, which is a big deal for COD players, like. And like you're saying, if you don't have a 2.0 KD or higher, they're just like, wow, you suck at this game and stuff. But that's one of the reasons I've never gotten too much into COD.
Yeah.
I did play Modern Warfare 2 a lot, and I'm not the greatest by any means at it, but I was decent enough to have more kills than death. But Destiny, every time I came out of any game, I felt like, oh, it just told me how many kills I got and all this stuff. It doesn't rub in your face that
your KD,
your KD, by the way, is this, so you're probably not very good at this game. You should quit.
Sorry, if you have a KD that is below 1 in Destiny, you had to try, because there's like 150 to 200 enemies in each section. If you get more kills,
I guess we're talking
PvP.
Strictly multiplayer though, like PvP.
I didn't
but you're
play
right.
multiplayer.
When you look at the companion app, it tells you the kill death ratio of the whole game. So my kill death ratio is like 13 right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
because the last thing I did was it's just running around in exploring.
It's not based or
something I do like about that too, and that I think this comes more from the Halo Bungie pedigree of the game, is something with all these kind of online competitive shooters. It's like, oh, you're using gun X, you're a noob because it's not good. Whereas this, it's like you have your assault rifle, you have your binary rifle, you have your scout rifle, you have your shotgun, you have your sniper rifle, and it's that. And then they might be different colors,
different looks, but it's the same fundamental.
If you're getting a kill with the BR in Halo, great. But then if you're getting a kill with the DMR or the assault rifle or the the handgun, Magnum, good. Like that's fine. And
it's also the PvP gear is the gear you use in the campaign.
Yeah, so
whatever
it's
gear
very,
you have.
Halo is. I think that Destiny is in a way even more even playing field than Halo was, because Halo might drop you with a BR and then you go get the power weapons in the maps. But this, you already have the power weapons.
There's the only thing that you get is heavy ammo and stuff like that in the map. Well, Matt, I kind of want to get your take on Destiny, because I know you've already basically said you're not getting it. So why don't you want this? I sort of want your opinion because, well, mainly I want to force you to talk because you never do.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
It's just not my type of game. I played it with you, played it with Mike, played it with...
You're saying that playing with me and you still don't want it? That is heartbreaking.
It's not
That's
because
why I
I'm
didn't
playing
like
with you.
What?
Huh? What was that?
Oh, I might have made some comment about that.
I think a fly just started. I think that's what
I
it
didn't
was.
even play with you, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. You ran off on your own. Anyway.
So true. It was so painful.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to jump off a bridge.
So yeah,
it was it felt like every other first-person shooter to me. I like the scenery, I like looking around, but everything felt the exact same.
Borderlands?
It was very Borderlands-esque.
Do you like Borderlands or
No.
no? Okay,
No.
so well there.
But I used to, but then the game ruined me.
Okay.
In the middle of a save, it crashed.
Oh yes, I
close
remember
to
this story. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Your game corrupted. It didn't save anything for you, and then you had to basically restart.
This is the world's smallest violin.
Jesus,
Yeah,
I'm
that's a little.
so gonna throw you out the window.
that's painful.
I like
Yeah.
to learn how to fly.
So that's what we've been playing this week, I guess.
Yeah, that's. I was going to say, interesting how we segued into we've been playing a beta that ended a month ago.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Listen, there are websites that gave Destiny Game of the Show at Gamescom, so it's obviously hugely important still.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm thrilled that Destiny's coming so soon. I'm very excited to see what it's got up its sleeves. Though I have expressed my perhaps not concerns, but curiosity as to how they can so confidently announce the first expansion coming in December that soon after the game's release without wondering. I wonder if it was content that was cut from the game. However, I'm getting the limited edition. I'm getting the expansion pass. I'm sure there'll be enough content in the game to keep me over until that.
Well, the reality
comes out,
is
and
you
then-
get to the end, and I was trying to explain this to you because you've never played an MMO, and I know me and Sam have, but I was trying to explain that when you get to the end game stuff, there are things you can do as well as player versus player, because in the beta, you only got a small taste of that, right? Because you're all low level, you're all very basic abilities and stuff, and it's going to just be completely different when you get to high-end multiplayer.
When I lived in France, one that was popular was with the kids was Dofus. I played a little bit of that. Have you heard of that?
No.
Dofus.
I want
it
to
was
call
pronounced.
it doofus, but that's just
No,
me.
it was just day. Yeah, I'm speaking French now. Dofus, I suppose, and it was just this really quirky point and click, really cool community. I played it for about a week because it was free to play, and I set it up on a friend's computer, and just whenever we'd hang out, and then I got bored of it after a while. But it was very cool.
I think
Oh,
that's the appeal
oh,
of Diablo is the
Dofus.
play with friends on a couch.
Yeah.
We're working right now to set a date where we're going to have probably the four of us, even though Jack's going to sit there and complain the whole
No,
time.
no. I don't want to cut you off, but I swear on something that I
deeply
Might
care
be
about.
might be able to break the
We'll,
promise.
we'll
on.
just skip that part. He'll be a while before he finds that. So
Yeah, I swear on something that will maybe be legible, that I won't complain if I'm going to play it with you guys. I don't.
Yeah,
I
we're
wouldn't
going
wanna-
to
I
try and
wouldn't
set up
wanna
a
ruin-
date where we do a 4-player couch co-op Twitch stream, and then we'll throw up the video on our website. Just because I think honestly we are deprived of a lot of games that are now split screen or couch co-op environments and stuff, and I think Diablo does it extremely well, because I know Sam and Matt were playing together on a couch. I was playing at my own house, and it was still an incredible amount of fun to
The only
to
thing
be able to do
is
that.
I now
so.
need glasses because I see cross-eyed. It's quite chaotic when you play multiple people. Like I'm not gonna not throw you away from the couch co-op experience we're gonna have, but all four of us is gonna be quite chaotic trying to figure out who's who and what we're doing. Even though they assign us a color, but it's still just
And Sam's gonna go
Chaos.
ooh shiny every single time. He
not
has to
every
grow.
single time.
It's every single time.
Okay,
Every
fair
single
enough.
time. Ooh, shiny,
like-
bring up the menu,
Hey,
everybody
hey,
dies.
hey, I like new stuff. Leave me alone.
I will say that despite my grievances towards the game, I will happily accept it into the roster of 2014, because this year, as I wrote in the article that you can find up on gaminglive.com in the articles section, that this year has seen somewhat of a renaissance. I'm shamelessly
This
marketing
ad is
us.
brought to you
Yes.
by Jack.
If
That
they're
was
if they're
very
listening to
good,
the
very blatant
if,
plug.
if they're listening to the podcast, they might be on our website already. They might be on
Yeah,
iTunes.
who knows?
So if you're not, go to the website, you people.
Start insulting the 4 people that listen to
Yeah.
our podcast.
Thanks, friends. But I said that this year's been seen somewhat of a renaissance of the local multiplayer, and I mean they are smaller titles. Like Towerfall Ascension is on my must plays. I love that.
Does
game.
look fun. I've watched some Let's Play of
yeah,
it. and
I-
it's definitely something we should look into playing.
I
couch
have it on
co-op of it.
I have it on my PS4, but if we're ever looking for one evening doing like a discussion stream or something like that, that is such a good game to do it by,
Yeah.
because it's it can be this amazingly good sort of old school competitive friendly rivalry
Yeah,
type gameplay, while retaining like this laid back atmosphere which lets you just kind of talk while you're playing. It's not something where you have to be just glued to the screen.
And it's like what? It's like 15
Well,
kills.
it was free.
It was
did
free
you
on
did you
PSN.
download it when it was free?
No.
I
wasn't
pretty
listening
much-
to you. I don't know what
Did you
game we're
download
talking about.
Towerfall when it was free
No,
on PSN?
we
Oh,
didn't.
for God's
Matt
sake!
stares. This is why he doesn't
Matt-
talk. He just looks around the room and like,
He's
man,
trying to,
I have
he's
that
trying to think of
statue.
different
That's
ways
pretty
to
cool.
Yeah.
He's trying to think of different ways to hurt me. But
No.
the thing is, he didn't have PS Plus at the time,
Okay.
and I
if you don't,
didn't.
if you have PS Plus, by the way, sorry to cut you off, Sam.
yeah, that's fine.
If you have PS Plus and you're getting these free games, even if you never play them until your hard drive is full, download the darn games.
Even if you don't have the PlayStation app on your phone or smart device, get it, because that way, if you're away from home and think, oh crap, it's the last day of the month and I haven't done it, and because I didn't think that game looked good, press buy on the purchase on the phone. It won't download it, but it'll be in your
It'll be queued up,
in your
ready to
download
go.
history. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So
And then you have the game as long as you're a PS Plus member. And let's face it, if you're playing PlayStation, you probably are a PS Plus member.
Yeah.
Seeing as
So,
how you need it now to play anything. you
yeah,
really want.
exactly. So it
That's
just it doesn't
multiplayer
make
based.
sense. They're giving you these free games. I was burned actually on Resogun. I did, and that's why I download everything now. That's free. Like being burned on Resogun kind of made me mad, and I now refuse to pay the $15 or whatever it is to buy the game, or $10.
Matt,
I'm
what do you
sure-
think about Resogun?
Well,
Eh,
it's I think it looks great. I wanted to play it.
love
it's
Resogun.
mindless fun, but I can't sit down for anything longer than 10-15 minutes to play it at a time. I get bored.
I survived on that new survival mode with the DLC. I managed to go 45 minutes in a sitting without dying, which is pretty good, I think. But I think that game
There's
is
DLC for it.
yeah, it's
there's DLC on
$4. They add a survival, like an endless
So
survival
now it's
mode. which is-
$20 for the whole game.
Just as
Yeah.
basically gets harder and harder
Oh, yeah,
as you
yeah.
go.
I
Yep.
bought the because the day
Yeah.
the DLC came out for $4.99. There's a season pass for $7.99.
Well-
I guess they're going to do another expansion after.
Well, when you
this,
think
so-
about it, you got the game for free the first time.
Yeah,
you're getting
so I put
this
$8.
extra
This is what I
content.
mean. That's why I'm not gonna not download any game. And
Yeah.
the worst case scenario is you delete it.
Yeah.
Like and get it
Well,
off your
it's
hard drive,
still-
and then you can still download it.
Yeah,
so it
it's
doesn't
still
matter.
connected to your account. Like I deleted.
I uninstalled Outlast when I stopped playing it, probably about a quarter of the way in because I was playing other games, and then went back to it.
Did
Well-
you beat it or?
Yeah, I did beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it except the ending. I
Oh, the
guess
ending
it was,
sucked,
the ending
but,
was bad. But
Well, me, it's Zombie Nation or whatever.
Alienation.
Nation.
Dead Nation, the game that you.
Alienation is the new one.
I
That's
was
the
It's-
exact
really
same.
it's- it's the-
disappointed with Dead Nation.
I
didn't like
I
it.
enjoyed it, and like it's when I get my PS4, I'm probably gonna reinstall and play it a little more because it was actually it's not bad. It's something. It was a couch co-op. Like me and a buddy of mine sat down and we.
There's
played the
something
whole
to be
thing
said.
for
I'd
8
like more
hours,
of
and it
those
was fun.
games where if you do have friends over, because gamers get this really bad rap that they're basically sitting in a room by themselves.
Solitary,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Well,
But
something
I
else.
really do enjoy going over to somebody's house or having somebody come over to my house and sitting down and being able to play it.
Yeah.
Me and my fiance play Mario Kart
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time.
Mario
all the
Kart
time,
is
split screen.
Mother
so
Load
good.
So-
on the PS4. I have it. It's
Yeah.
linked to my account. It's a fun game that I would like to play with all four of us. It would be something good to sit down and do. Like
Yeah.
I played some of it myself. It's not that much fun by yourself, but having friends with you play it and you're just exploring, digging down to these deeper depths is quite enjoyable.
Mother Load's cool. I think a Mario Kart. If we could do a Mario Kart live stream at some point.
Yeah,
because
I'd
you
love
can't
to
do
do
it
that.
directly through the Wii U. But if we hook it to, I don't know how you do it, but
You can do it directly
we have
through the Wii U.
just bring the game
to
here.
Twitch.
Yeah, I have the capture card does that.
Yeah, bring
Oh,
it.
that's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the capture card.
Yeah,
would do it,
you're
yeah.
talking about the software inside.
Yeah,
of
there's
it,
no
yeah.
software in the Wii U.
Yeah,
but,
no.
running on the cappuccino processor or whatever it's called. It's called like the mocha processor or something
Yeah.
like that.
So
It's
It
just
says-
as ridiculous as the Android names for their iOS. Let's get some Jelly Bean in here.
It's Kit Kat now, thank you.
Sorry,
is?
I apologize. Anyway, that's our weekly recap of what we've been playing. We'll be right back in a second with the little bit of news that there was this week. Welcome back. We're going to go through a little bit of news. As I mentioned, there wasn't a whole lot, but something that surfaced that we've been reading about a little bit today. There's been some DDoS attacks, and PSN is down. I'm not sure if it's back up as of yet.
The PSN itself is back up. The store is not.
Okay.
I
okay.
tried to check the store thing on my phone. It wouldn't work.
Which one of you was it that was explaining to me what a DDoS attack is?
It's basically like it's an artificial overload of traffic. they trick the IP or just the basic server of provider.
Makes
of
it seem
PSN.
there's like
Yeah,
50 million people on
the,
there.
The system
Okay.
can't handle it, and it just does an automatic reboot, making it impossible for anyone to get on. You were reading, Matt. They've done these simultaneous
Yeah,
attacks
who else have they
today.
hit, Matt?
Over the last 5 days, they PSN, BattleNet, which is WoW, Hearthstone, Diablo, ArenaNet, NCSoft, which does WildStar and Guild Wars, EVE Online, Steam, RuneScape, Lineage. The same people that are taking credit for the PSN one. Also, they've gone after the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, NSA mail server, and various minor websites, but one of them's not two minors, brassers.
We're going to skip over that one.
We're gonna bleep that one out.
Yeah. But I mean, how awful do you need to be to attack something that's trying to raise money for like a good cause? I mean, Matt just dumped an ice bucket on Jack's head for good reason, right? I mean, obviously it's a little bit gimmicky, but
No, we won't get into it too much. But I've said like the ice bucket challenge itself is this thing that's just like an internet craze, and I mean people might not have known what ALS was before that, but they certainly do now. And if it's doing nothing else but raise awareness, then I'm okay with that. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, I was just sort of saying like how awful these people need to be going after these things. I mean, basically just what's their reward from this? Just a bunch of people going on the internet to complain?
Just
I bet you
the personal satisfaction.
Okay.
Shots fired.
Hey, what?
He's the
Not all
only
of them.
Canadian, by the way.
Apparently,
That's not nice.
sorry. Live update. Apparently, Xbox Live's down now as well.
Oh,
from
no.
the
Oh,
same
great!
GDOS
So people
attack.
can't play COD. Woohoo!
Yeah. Well, no. The thing is, it's really funny how dedicated
bleep that out.
Microsoft followers really like to rag on Sony ever since the big hack in 2009. And something like this just goes to show that their servers aren't that well protected either.
Everything's the
only-
same, right?
you
If
can
somebody
only
puts enough
pay-
time into
Oh
it.
yeah, you can only pay so much, right, to ensure the fidelity of your online service. And I mean, the amount of money they put into their infrastructure just goes to show that it's pretty much useless at the end of the day.
It doesn't matter if you can put billions of dollars in. The people that are doing this hacking have nothing else to do with their life.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. If you put so much amount of time into it, you can eventually hack something. Especially if you have a team of people that are willing to dedicate to that cause. The reward for them is a bunch of people complaining on the internet
Well, it's
about how PSN is down.
It's a bunch. It's a bunch of publicity for not what their real names are, but it's still an ego boost for them.
I guess. I mean,
Because that's all
It's-
the
it
internet's
seems
talking
like a
about right
little
now.
bit-
It's them.
true. I guess it
So-
seems more like a schoolyard bully to me, but that's. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, recently Polytron, which is the Fez creators studio, Phil Fisher's studio,
Yeah.
that got hacked as well. Like that's
That was like because Polytron was such a small thing, it was more of a personal attack on Phil Fish. They
Right.
exposed a bunch of his personal information, and that's so shit. Like, I mean, it bugs. Oh, do we have to bleep that one out?
Yeah,
No.
we'll have to leave that one out.
no
We did last week.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't
didn't think
so.
we did.
Yes.
No, we
No.
did.
No.
We did.
Just a lot of the F words.
Just the F-bomb.
We did. We did
That-
that one too last week.
No, we didn't.
It was only the F-bomb.
Okay.
Guarantee it.
Anyway,
No, it was the B word, Sam, not shit. Yeah.
Sounds the same.
What?
Not at all.
Not even a little bit, but okay.
It does.
yeah.
Letters are similar.
It's just crap because, like, you know, he's only just pretty much stepping back into the spotlight. He was back on Twitter like often, and he was getting vocal again, which was good for the most part. You know, as a person who had some really great insights and some really good things that he could share. I was really excited to see him come back like that after the crap that he's put through before. And then, you know, this happens, and it's like it just sings numbers to the fact that, you know, when he's tweeting like we don't deserve Fez 2, he's right, because anyone who's willing to just make
Well,
it
there's somebody willing to attack him in that light, right? Like, I
yeah.
understand that people have to be careful about what they say, because everybody, especially if you're doing it on something like Twitter, is in the spotlight, and anything can blow up. So, and it can become all over the world, and millions of people have seen exactly what people have said. But nobody deserves that, because you're right. Polytron was a studio, but it was him, right? It was
Yeah.
it was basically all his financial information, his personal information.
Yeah.
all over the place, and now he's basically selling the studio and he's done with it. And
Even
honestly, I sort of don't blame him, because what is he gonna do? I mean, if he comes back again, they're just gonna hack him again, right? So
he's not really winning anything by hanging on to it, though. It's just such a shame, because I mean, like, not even for like integrity's sake, but that was his brainchild, and I think Fez is such a phenomenal game, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. So it saddens me deeply to see him walk away from just to be passing on the name. But I mean, in his shoes, I can't blame the man. So I'm sorry.
No, I mean, if it happened to
me,
like, let's say hypothetically, for instance, we became somewhat popular instead of not, like we are now.
Yes.
If we actually did do something where we had a few, like, tens of thousands of people listening to our podcast, and somebody decided to hack my life and display that, I'd be done with it. Like, it's not worth that to me.
No.
So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense why people are doing this, because it hurts a lot of other people. Maybe he doesn't make Fez 2 if he stays there, but maybe he makes another great game, right? So and it sucks to lose people like that. I know Twitter started a like hashtag We Love Developers or something. So if you do want to like show some support to these people who are like putting their blood, sweat, and tears into making something that they've been dreaming of making for a long time and bringing it to us, like, show some positivity, because you're right, we don't as gamers say thank you enough, right? So
I mean, this was the same thing the We Love Developers started with, the Zoe Quinn fiasco, I suppose you could call it, that was going on earlier this week, which is a complete travesty as well. I mean, a incredibly talented woman who has developed she developed and put out Depression Quest pretty much on her own, and though I have neglected to play it so far, I am hoping it's going to make its way to Mac or even maybe consoles at some point. But if not, like, I will find a way to play this game, because I've heard such tremendous things about it. Yes, it's on PC. But a lot of rumors and just
hurtful things,
very hurtful things said about the woman. I mean, and if it all comes down to this, like, if it's not true, then these people need to just be absolutely ashamed with themselves and stop, because no one deserves to have their family involved.
Right.
Just completely atrocious. Even if it was true, the things they're saying about her, who cares? It's her personal life.
Yeah.
Like, she can do what she wants. And then anyway, it's and I don't even like to, like, it's just
it sucks that we even have to bring it up.
Yeah,
like that it's part of news, right?
Bringing it up, but I just want to dance. Like, I don't even want to go into it, because it's just so, like, I'm dancing around it, and maybe that is because I'm not 100% up to date on it where we are today with it, right? But I mean, it's like a few days ago that story was just crap.
But it doesn't make any sense, all these hacking attacks and stuff like that. Like, just stop doing it. Why? You have nothing to show for it. Like, if you, again, they don't take anything, they just basically make people complain and make people miserable.
Yeah.
So I mean,
gamers suck.
Yeah, basically, to be honest with you.
In a sense, it's people voicing their opinion. I'm not saying they're right. By far, they are not right. That's not at all what I'm saying. But it's their source of opinion. They are voicing it
by ruining someone's life.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? It's
but no, that's not justifiable at all.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying their opinion is justified. That's the last thing I'm saying. I'm saying that it is a form of opinion.
Listen, I am
No.
I am 100% that everybody has their own opinion and that no opinion is right.
I'm not saying that it's right. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a form.
No,
of it.
I'm not. Are you done?
No.
Okay.
Because he's
perfect.
hating it.
No, that's
but what you're saying
maliciously
is
attacking
malformed.
is not an opinion. Maliciously attacking somebody is assault, basically.
Yeah.
It's not, but it's not an opinion. That's not him
say-
going up to somebody and saying
that person feels cheated out of something. For example, the people.
So you're walking down the street at night and say, this person's in a nice
The people who
jacket.
attacked Phil Fish, all right, who brought his sniff like that, they were probably pissed at the fact that he's saying that we don't deserve a thing too. By all means, they're frustrated with that. That was their way of voicing
but those
it.
people were
They're not
shit
right. They're
because-
idiots. But that's the way it is.
Yeah, those people were shit, though, because they're like, oh, we like Japanese games, but he doesn't, so we're going to ruin his life. Basically, what you're saying is you could be walking down the street at night and say, I like the fact that man can grow a nice beard and I can't, so I'm going to go beat the shit out of him, and that's justifiable.
No, it's
That's
not justified.
exactly
It's
what
not
you're
just-
saying.
I'm not saying it's justifiable
We're
at
not.
all.
It's the.
I
the way-
never said
it's
it.
your- but it's
You're
your
putting
opinion,
words in
so-
my mouth.
but it's your
I never
opinion,
said that
so-
it's justified.
Yeah.
No,
I
you're
never
s-
said
but
that.
But an attack is not an opinion. An opinion is, man, I really hate that guy can grow that beard. That's an
Yeah.
opinion.
And so it's but so
But attacking somebody is not is
Whatever.
it-
Maybe it's just
an
a French
assault.
that I can't speak.
Well,
Yeah.
and I don't know what it is. I just don't think that's an opinion. An opinion would be calling Phil
Probably
Fish out
using
on
the wrong
Twitter
word. Whatever.
and saying that, you know, this is, I don't agree with you saying that. I think we do deserve Fez 2. That's somebody's opinion. Exposing his entire life and making him so that you can see how much money he's worth, all that other stuff, where he lives, all that stuff, that is an attack. Like, that's, nobody
Yeah.
deserves that. Your worst enemy doesn't deserve that.
No.
Like, that's all of your personal stuff. So, again, other than that in news, it's been kind of a slow week, but Resident Evil Revelations 2 was leaked.
yeah.
Apparently it's on 3D. I've never played the game, to be honest with you. Apparently it's
The-
really good on 3DS, so maybe I'll pick it up when I have some spare time.
3DS version was phenomenal. Console version, not so much. Capcom just trying to make another buck off one of the last successful Resident Evil games I think they will ever make,
Yeah.
because that franchise is
They
doomed.
need a reboot. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
need a 100% like start fresh, or
use
something
that
like
game.
Resident Evil 4 or something like that. That's what they need, because that's the best game of the series. in my
Use
opinion, so.
use
I would
Revelations.
completely agree with
Yeah.
Resident
4?
Evil 4.
4.
Yeah.
See, I liked 5, but I didn't like 6 at all.
See, I didn't mind 5,
okay.
but 4 was better because I found 5 went more to the action side of things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Where it was like, you know, go and kill all these zombies and stuff. But 4 was, you know, so linear, so corridor.
Yeah.
Like,
if you liked 4, then you would love Revelations, because
Perfect.
it's not so the only
More
thing I didn't
focused
like
and
about
stuff?
more survival horror, in the sense that it's less about, like, it's not zombies you're fighting, it's just these creatures. So there's none of that kind of human, like, just beat 'em up type aspects to it. That was one of the few things I didn't like about the last few Resident Evil games, that you could shoot them in the legs and then
Yeah.
kick them in the face. There were these really gruesome monsters and you only had like a clip of bullets, and you can't. They added the mechanics so you could walk while you moved, but you can't aim while you're moving. So you have to put the gun where you want it, then it locks you there, and then you can walk backwards. But there was some like trip mechanic where if you walked into a table, it would you'd stumble, and it was great.
Perfect. Well, it sounds like something I'd like. So I have a trip coming up. I'll probably play it on the plane.
It's like $20 now, I think.
Yeah,
on the
sounds
shop.
good to me. That I wanted to actually bring up something about things leaking like this. Is it a good thing that this stuff leaks and
No.
that we get so much coverage about games?
No.
I don't think it is, right?
Because when stuff leaks and then you don't hear about it for another year, that's when people say there's no games for this, and they start bashing the industry. Thing is, there's a million games out there that don't get any press, but people
Right.
focus so much on a game that hasn't even moved into the alpha stage of production yet. It's not even out of a concept, and we
Yeah.
find out about it.
Well, that's
And-
why at Gamescom they announced DayZ's going to PlayStation 4.
Yep.
I don't even think that should have been part of their press conference, because it's going to be 3 years.
huge news, though. I mean, that's
yeah, I get it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't want it part of the actual presentation. I want it like release it as a press release, but don't bring it on stage and be like DayZ is going to become a phenomenon on PS4 as well.
It's all part of the publicity.
No, I
of,
get it,
of
and they need to
announcing,
they need to drive console sales too, right? So they want all these announcements and
Got to
stuff.
make it to 11 million.
Yeah,
now that
exactly.
they're at 10.
But like a game like Smash Brothers, which I'm super excited about, but we basically know the roster of every single
no,
fighter.
I don't like that at all. But
Like-
that's mostly on Sakurai being this very self-indulged kind of person who just wants like all of the like positive press ever.
Yeah.
So
Like I'm a little disappointed. I know that things like Pac-Man and Mega Man are going to be playable characters. That would have been so cool to be halfway through, you know, after 26
secret
hours,
fighter.
and then all of a sudden you've unlocked a new character and it's frickin' Mega Man, and
Yeah.
you're just like, holy crap, that is so cool
Yeah.
that I'm going to be able to play as that character. So yeah, I think the amount of coverage we get from games before they're even released is ridiculous. I'm okay with betas. Little bit not okay with alphas. I actually had some experience, and I paid money and I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. DayZ on PC, and I've stopped playing it because there's so many bugs with it. But so many people are religiously playing this game and loving it. But I walk up a flight of stairs and fly out into the ocean and die. That to me is a game that that's not finished and shouldn't be played. So
yeah, and there's a huge population of people that really do not like the Steam Greenlight type stuff and like the early access type stuff because there's so much.
Well, it's going to cause a giant window. It's sort of like that guy on Kickstarter that did the potato salad thing.
Yeah.
Like how many people now do you see on there? I'm going to bake a pizza and hope I make 60 grand from
Yeah.
it. Like it just doesn't. It opens the floodgates, right?
There's one game on Steam goes up, which is just an unfinished arena thing where you walk around and shoot some targets, and puts it up there for $20, and then you see the amount of shit that goes up there now.
Yeah.
For 10, sometimes $5, and people will buy it just to see what it is, and it's just nothing.
Yeah.
And I hope we don't reach this point with the
consoles
like
and
early
stuff.
access and consoles and stuff like that, because that would be terrible. I know they are rumoring some kind of early access plan coming onto Microsoft's Xbox One sometime soon, but I believe that it's going to be more of a in the form of a trial of just any game. You can just play like a 20-minute or a 30-minute portion of a game,
Almost like a demo then.
kind of.
That's
but
all right.
it's
I don't
almost
don't play demos,
but
but
it actually it's something kind of like the PS3 trials used to be when you had PlayStation Plus. You could download it. Basically downloaded the entire game, and then once you reach certain points, like, hey, you liking it? Do you want to pay to keep playing? Or so.
Yeah, the only demo I think I've played in the last little while was the playable teaser from Silent Hills. So, and that was more of a game in itself. So, and it was free. But for the most part, I don't play demos. I really hope we don't get to the point where everything is being leaked to the point where you know exactly what the game is before it comes out. Like Little Big Planet 3 was a great surprise to me. I didn't know anything about it.
That was handled
awesome.
so perfectly as well.
It was perfect. Everybody thought Media Molecule was making it. They weren't
once at E3.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's coming out next, like the same year that it was announced. That's what needs to keep happening again, because now we're losing all of this. The hype that we gain from any announcement of a game is gone by the time the game comes out now. Unless you're a $500 million game like Destiny that can't keep pushing the... Obviously, when you spend that kind of money, you can afford to keep the publicity up and stuff.
Well, you look at the publicity they have for Call of Duty every year, right? And it's same publisher, so that's how they're managing it.
Yeah.
One that I would argue with that disappointed me a little bit was how much they're pushing, like, just a new Halo experience. And I mean, back in 2013 was the Xbox One's first E3. And they had a teaser for what was obviously going to be Halo 5 because it was new cinematic footage that no one had ever seen before.
Looked great. Yep.
Didn't hear anything for another.
Still nothing.
Well,
basically.
yeah.
Well, other than the beta,
we heard the name was going to be Halo 5 Guardians like a month before E3, so a full year of just absolutely zero.
Am I right to say no gameplay yet?
No gameplay.
No gameplay yet.
No.
And they announced this 2 years ago.
A year ago. We knew essentially you could say 3 years ago, because it was E3 2011 when they confirmed Halo 4 would come out, and there was going to be another trilogy. So we've known that a fifth Halo game was coming in the Master Chief series anyway for this long. So
yeah, it's way too early to get that out, and that's like when you announce things like. I'll even use an example like Bloodborne. I think that's too early because I don't think we're going to see that game for a while.
They actually said something pretty bold on the Gamescom stage when they did the sizzle reel in the beginning, and then they came out and showed the first two demos. They said all of these games will be playable, will be available exclusively on PlayStation 4 in the next 8 months, I think they said.
Whoa. So it's way further along than I thought.
Yeah.
Then.
That's very... Because this was the first gameplay anyone had seen outside of closed doors demos. And as someone who's played the Souls games, I started to get into Dark Souls. I definitely see why the appeal is there. I do think it's a phenomenal game. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say about it yet, you know.
Again, going back to your thing about exclusives, I'm probably going to have it because it's going to be an exclusive, and I want to play it.
Oh, yeah, well, we weren't recording when I was saying this, were we? But
I have no idea. I lose track of that when we're sitting around this table.
Okay. I don't think we were, but I was basically saying that we... I will just play a game if it's... I knew before the PS4 launch that Knack probably wouldn't be up to much snuff. But I thought I should give it a go just because it was that exclusive title, right? And yeah, no, I just like supporting the exclusive studios on
for
both sides
sure.
of things.
I'm with you 100%. Sam, you looked like you wanted to say something.
To go back to Halo.
Yeah.
Halo Destiny was actually teased back in
ODST.
Halo 3 ODST.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Really?
Someone showed me that not long
It's
ago.
a picture, a poster on the wall that has the Earth and then the
Traveler above it.
Traveler, like the Traveler above it. Like it looks like the
Yeah.
moon, but it's not. It's this
Interesting.
other thing. And then they have the Destiny logo.
Doesn't it say Destiny Awaits? Or
It
something
doesn't.
like
It
that?
it says Destiny Awaits.
Yeah.
With the Destiny logo right there, and it was the first.
Was ODST before or after Reach?
before. This was
It was
And
right
Reach was
after.
the last
it
one
was
they
right
did.
after Halo 3.
Bungie. Yeah, this
Yeah.
was 2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So they had already had a team developing this game then, obviously.
They were secretly teasing it, but no one knew what the hell it meant. And then some guy was
Okay.
replaying through ODST
See,
and
that's
saw
a,
that.
that's
and
a
he was
really,
like, what?
really clever
Yeah.
way, though.
Yeah.
And then people can connect the dots later on,
Yeah.
right?
And
Like, it's a
same-
really clever way of doing that.
Uncharted 3 as well, right? Last of Us on the newspaper or in the bar, like right in the beginning of the game. And that was not supposed to be in the game, I guess. And then it was this kind of a big screw up on part of the developers. They revealed very late on, just not long before Last of Us was released, it actually wasn't supposed to be in the game. And it was they'd just done it as something that was going to be a mild teaser.
Okay.
And they decided ultimately, we won't put it in the game. And then
They forgot the coding
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
Something that I really enjoyed, and I wish more games did this, but I remember in Rainbow Six Vegas 2, when you're walking through the Coliseum, like that convention center, the posters on the wall, depending on when you're playing, it would update based on the servers of games and movies coming out.
Oh,
Because I remember
interesting.
playing it 1 month and it was a movie that was about to come out, and then I played it like 2-3 months later, and that movie that was there before that was being previewed just moves, and the poster was different with the title of like a different game or a poster or something like that. Like I think once it was like. Let's say Tony Hawk something, and then the next month I played it was like WWE.
That's a clever way of doing it, but don't tell us 3 years before a game is coming out that, hey, guess what? This game's coming to the console. It'll be 3 more years or so, guys, but we put all this effort into making this cinematic teaser so that you can know that we are making it. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
What?
Not showing me pictures of it.
Of what?
I didn't know about the deadly fungus in Uncharted 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I Googled it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it for news, even though we tend to go on tangents about other stuff. But
I really can't even think of anything else that's happened that was big.
that's typically the way it happens, though, after a big gaming conference or something like that. It's pretty
quiet for a
dried up,
while.
especially since PAX is, I think, next week, and then TGS is only a few weeks after that.
Yeah,
so
there's summer months.
there's not
going to
be there's not going to be anything until we get to those.
If there are any football fans out there, initial reviews for Madden
I was reading that
15
actually, that they
have been
revamped.
overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's got some football in it. Some men run around in armor.
Okay, being somebody who used to play a lot of sports games.
Okay.
The Madden series was really good, and I did play a lot of it. But the biggest problem by far, which is what I guess they've addressed, is the defensive side of the game. Because it was so boring to play defense, most of the time when I was playing, I would just let the computer do it and hope for the best. But apparently what they've addressed, even though I haven't played it yet, is that defense matters again, and that you should be playing defense, and it's much more fun that way. Really, really good idea. So, I mean, if you are a sports fan, I guess I would suggest picking it up, because it looks like they've made another leap forward into making it more real.
Yeah.
My favorite FIFA game was on the Sega Genesis, and my favorite Madden game was on the PSP.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 favorite sports games on those consoles.
My favorite football game of all time was NFL Blitz. It had nothing to do about football, though. It was just hit people really hard and power bomb them into the ground, basically. Yeah, it was great. But yeah, so we'll be back, and we'll do our weekly wrap up. See you in a second. Welcome back. We're going to do our weekly wrap up now. There's only a few things to go over. First thing I'd like to start off, I had some feedback from a couple of friends and listeners that saying that we sort of come across as PlayStation fanboys. Jack would like to tell you that it's because...
It's only because we all like the better of the 2 consoles
at the moment.
So
my comment last week was that basically Microsoft's strategy is always save us, Master Chief. That wasn't necessarily an insult. mainly because it's going to work, because when anything Master Chief comes out, hence the collection, I will probably be getting an Xbox One just to play that game.
Well, we need to know what happens to Cortana.
Right, but that's Halo 5, right?
Yeah.
But that's not even in the same realm. But
Still same thing.
This to me, in my opinion, is just like Sony relying on the ports of some of their best exclusives. Last of Us, arguably, The Last of Us is a very recent game, so a port that soon of to a game that came out that soon before the launch of a new console makes sense. The Halo 4 is 2012, and then they're
GTA,
obviously
Right.
GTA. They all make sense, but then there's something that can be said that's quite special about the Master Chief Collection, because it is like a legacy.
Right, it's
collection of
not.
these games,
I wouldn't
right?
even. It's not a port, right? They're doing things that were never done before as well. So.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, the games are ported. You get the anniversary edition of Halo 2.
That's like the only really new.
No. The new thing is that Halo 1 is also going to be included in the
online,
multiplayer,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's never
That's
been
new.
done before,
Yeah,
right?
well,
So, and
it's-
including all that on one game, so you can literally get your map list out, and it'll say Halo 3 this map, and then Halo 2 Coagulation, Halo 1 Blood
Yeah,
Gulch.
it's all three.
Like it's
all
and
four.
and when you go to that mode, it gives you those rules, right?
Yeah.
So, not to come across as PlayStation fanboys, at the moment the PlayStation, I believe, has the stronger game titles. Sunset Overdrive looks phenomenal, so when I get the Master Chief Collection in the Xbox One, Sunset Overdrive will be a game that I will be playing.
I am very excited to try that game.
Absolutely.
I
I'm a
like Insomniac.
huge fan of Insomniac games, so I
I think as well.
Ratchet and
bring
Clank.
Yeah,
Ratchet and Clank is so
good. Let's not talk about Fuse though.
Yeah.
So
Thank
I
you,
think
EA.
I think one of the things I was going to say, bring it back to what you were saying about just has the stronger titles right now. I think they just have more to say too. And like you were saying, it's all well and good relying on the Master Chief Collection, because that is what's driving a lot of the anticipation of this fall's the Xbox One lineup this fall. However, it's just that there's not a lot. Like they've got a lot of plans, but it's like, we'll let you know about them, but then they do a very good job of not talking about them, whereas Sony like to just keep reminding us, and it's this constant circle of excitement around all their games.
To come back to it, I've realized this year, for launch titles for this system, have been shit compared to what they were on the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
What?
In my mind, the launch titles this year were not that great compared to what they were back when those released.
Perfect Dark Zero, Cameo.
Yeah,
King
but there was a
Kong.
lot more of that too. You had Halo. That was one big one of that time.
It was not a
I'm
launch
gonna-
title.
Yeah, it wasn't a launch title. Are
2007
you referring to
came
like
out.
the first year of titles or launch titles specifically? Because a launch
Oh,
title
okay,
is a game that
I guess I'm
comes
wrong.
the
When I
same
got
day.
when I got my system, there was Halo 3 with it. And
Okay.
stuff.
So that's like within like the first year of console.
That's
2
2
years.
years. But
Yeah. So yeah, no, I was gonna say, because the launch titles never seem to be that strong. One sort of blessing we got with this next gen round of consoles is that we did get third-party games adding their games to the mix. So I was able to actually play Battlefield 4 for a few months and have something that I played for a while, which
Or
I
tried
think is
to play
or tried to
anyway,
play
yeah.
for a
Attempt to, yeah.
while,
Yeah.
or Assassin's Creed Black Flag, even though it just looked like an up-resed version of the current gen
that it
at the
was on
time.
PS3.
I fell asleep
I
playing
don't
the
even
game.
think it was up-res. It looked the exact same.
Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. I had a PS4. I didn't have a PS3 because I just bought a new console, so I was playing Black Flag.
I hear they had some new rain physics in it. You saw a few more drops of rain than you did on the PS3 version.
Okay.
No, there's
Nice.
actual comparison videos where that's
awesome.
the only difference.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Playing BF Battlefield from PS3 to PS4, there was definitely some
There was some
improvements.
tremendous
Differences.
difference.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have had a little more time in a match without losing connection to be able to compare the graphics.
Right.
However, I do
I
know
meant,
where
I
you're
meant,
coming.
I meant, I meant the
Or being able
campaign
to queue
based
up-
off the campaign.
yeah.
When your
So-
files corrupted every
Yeah,
single
yeah,
time
yeah.
on mission 3 for me, and
Yeah.
I had to
I can-
restart
I can-
and eventually just
I was
gave up.
really good at the first mission.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
really
oh
good
man,
at
I
it.
knew
Like,
where every single
I could
person
drive.
was.
I could drive the car like a pro.
Yeah. I
That
also-
song was the best part.
Like you're saying, yeah, I was 100% sure the game looked better, but just based on that first mission.
Yeah.
I played it so many times.
yeah,
Yeah.
They did do a few things. Another thing that was great was, oh, you want to play with your friends? Okay, so good luck, basically.
Yeah.
No
Okay,
queuing
okay,
up his
okay.
Hang on a
friends.
minute. Hang on a minute.
There's a spot in my game. Join quickly. Join quickly. Don't you quickly.
Yeah, everybody picked this game.
I forgot my segment earlier. My iconic rage towards Ubisoft.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because now they're using it towards the word mature, I think.
Yeah. So we
Damn,
gotta
I
bring
forgot
this
my
up.
iconic
Okay.
mask.
Ubisoft section of the week. This week, Ubisoft announced that Watch Dogs would be their last, quote, mature game coming to the Wii U. Apparently people don't buy their games on the Nintendo system, which, I mean, sure, that's understandable. It's not the most powerful of the systems available right now, but, if you're buying a Wii U to play Ubisoft's games, you're doing it wrong. But I think they're being a little liberal with the use of their word mature. I think it just sounds a little... It just sounds a little. It's a primitive use of the word, and they're being malicious towards Nintendo because they're using this as a driving force of just calling Nintendo's console a kid console, really. And I don't think their games are mature at all. They're distastefully violent, but they're not mature in any sense of the word. So
I find your comments hurtful.
Is that your
Apparently
Aiden
Max
That's
Batman.
my Aiden Pierce, yeah, which is also
Bad
Batman.
boy.
I was like saying Batman showed up all of a sudden.
I thought
Did you
Ubisoft
know
was making
Bad Boy?
Batman
In,
now.
Yeah, I played the
apparently.
whole game. Yeah.
Bedbug. You did good, Bedbug.
You did good.
Yeah, but I can imagine that press con, that meeting. Nintendo. I just wonder what Nintendo's reaction would have been like. Reggie would have just been like, "Okay," and they're just
Sure.
like, "So we just want you to understand that we're not going to be putting Assassin's Creed Rogue." He's probably just like, "Okay."
Your point being what?
This is my concerned face.
Yeah. My body is ready.
Yeah.
And then they just leave the room. But no, I think that
No,
Oh,
you're
no,
absolutely
no.
right. If you buy a Wii U to play the Call of Duty games, any Ubisoft game or any of those games, you're buying a Wii U for the wrong reasons.
I
A
am-
Wii U has a very specific type of game.
I have gotten from
Seg-
some people that
sorry,
Call
you
of Duty
go.
isn't terrible on the Wii U. Like
But
it's fun for what it is.
But there's
you know.
4 people who play Call of
Yeah.
Duty on the Wii U,
Yeah,
so you can have a
exactly.
2v2 match.
Yeah.
You
get you.
don't buy a Wii U to play those types of games. You play it for very specific reasons. And that brings us to our next segment.
Segue. You buy a Wii U to play Mario Kart 8. And for this week's weekly Metacritic user review wrap-up section thing where I read a review that's dumb,
And we basically bash it for a couple of minutes.
this
For laugh
person
factors.
gave the astonishing first place must play on my list of must plays of 2014
Absolutely.
on gaminglag.com. I could do this all day, man.
Yeah.
I'm very good at this. This person gave Mario Kart 8 a 0, and the review is as followed. Boring. Looks like a kid game. Plays without any depth. Poor graphics at last-gen resolution. Annoying soundtrack. Better to mute. Already played this game in the 90s. Don't bother with it again.
Let's start with the boring part. What part of that game is boring?
I think he
I actually agree with him.
literally
Did
hates
he look
fun.
at Did he look at the title menu and then say, "Man, this game sucks"?
I actually think all of Nintendo's menus are really boring.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know what it is. They've got some of the most creative artists in the business, and they have just these static image menus, and
Yeah,
it
the
drives me.
same- the
It
same
drives
for every
the font,
game.
the fonts and everything. Like Christ, man!
I've seen
what are you-
Blu-ray menus that are better than that.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I own a
Yeah.
couple of them.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what they're doing
Well,
there.
then perfect. That's probably what he's deriving the boring from.
Yeah,
then, is
because
this is the title menu?
Yeah, you just think, but looks like a kid game. Well, is that because you can't see every individual hair in Mario's little mustache, or he doesn't have blood coming out of his eyes from how fast the carts are going in zero gravity?
I don't
Like-
really understand that comment, because if you did buy Mario Kart 8, what were you expecting as far as graphics go?
I threw
We've
a
had-
shell. Hey, man! I threw a shell at him. There's no blood.
There's no blood, no explosion. He just sort of flailed
So
in the
he
air
wants,
a little bit.
Michael Bay to produce the next
Yeah,
one.
basically.
Peaches.
Mario Kart 8, presented by Michael Bay.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Someone please make that on YouTube. Thank you.
God. Did you see the Up thing they did recently?
Oh,
Up was
yeah.
directed by
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
phenomenal. But no,
Oh.
like just
I just don't understand that, though. How many Mario games have we had? How many Mario Kart games have we had? What was the
8
expected-
apparently.
I think 8 is the best one. It's probably my favorite Mario Kart of all time.
aside from, as you were saying, battle mode.
Right,
They
battle
really,
mode, they really need to
really
do
let
that,
themselves
but
go.
they're in a position that they can fix that, because they can support updates for games
Yep.
on this console.
Yeah.
So they can say, you know what, this next DLC, which is going to come to you free, is N64 battle mode maps, or
Oh,
Super
God.
Nintendo battle mode maps.
That'd be so
It'd
good.
be so good, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about that, because they've already brought out a DLC, I think, like the Mercedes cars or something, or it's coming. So they can actually
I
do
heard
stuff
about that, yeah.
and improve the game.
I
which
think
is
that's
good.
really weird. I do not understand why
Well,
they're
it's
doing that.
Mercedes. It's Mercedes. It's
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
not that commercial. It's hilarious.
Smart by Mercedes' point,
Yeah.
because they're going to get a bunch of little kids obsessed with Mercedes already.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, and what was the other thing? That the music was awful? How is the music awful?
I will say there's only a couple of tracks in the game which I actually genuinely love the music. I don't think it's mute worthy. However, if I have it on quietly and have music play on my Mac while I'm playing the game, that's fine for me. But I do find on a lot of the courses the music is so perfectly, like Music Park, Electrodome.
Yeah.
The music is quintessential to the track because it's part of the race. And it's
Absolutely,
like,
when
you
you're
know,
driving on the piano, the piano keys and
Oh,
stuff.
man.
I
so
love
good.
Electrodome when it separates into the pink and the
Yes,
green, and
yes,
you're
yes.
it's like a space pad, and you're going across it, and it does
Yeah.
all these different sort of wheezy sounds. That game is
that
so
game
good.
is so good.
Yeah.
It is. Oh man, I can't even 0 out of 10. Okay, if you don't like it, fine. But there's no way that game's a 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
He is a Call of Duty player or something, and it's not Call of Duty, and he spent money on a game because he was bored of ghosts. That is seriously.
yeah.
on the Wii U.
Before we before we figure out how to live stream 4-player live stream that game,
Absolutely.
we will definitely.
I was
have to
even
do-
thinking about maybe setting up a tournament for,
That would be really
I know we have a decent amount of friends that listen to our podcast and would be more than happy to attempt to beat us at Mario Kart. I don't know how.
I'm terrible at it, so they can
I'll
all win
smash
it.
ya. Come
Yeah.
at us. Hit me up on. Leave us a comment at or write to us on Twitter or write to us on Facebook or.
Is
I
this
think
a
what Jack
is this
is
a segue
trying
to
to
us
say-
tell them our Twitter
Hit
handles?
us
I
up
think
at
what
segue.
Jack is trying to say is that about wraps us up
I wa-
here for the
no.
podcast.
I'm not done. I'm not done, mother. Okay.
We're talking about Mario.
No.
No, they want to talk about.
Oh yeah.
No, we don't have to.
Wolf Among Us.
Wolf
Yeah,
Among
Wolf
Us.
Among
All right,
Us.
Matt.
No, I mean
Talk.
it's up to
It's
you.
hard to talk about
Yeah.
it, they say, without giving away spoilers, because I'm
Yeah.
somebody who hasn't played it yet.
I'm going to give away spoilers all through it. Mind you, it's only going to be based off my choices because it's actually, and Sam, you should play it because you like games that you can make choices and where it actually affects the ending.
yeah,
Did I ever
This
tell-
game,
that's why I'm really excited for Until Dawn.
Oh, you mean it's
I'm-
not exactly like Mass Effect 3, is what
Yeah.
you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
The decisions you make affect the game. Okay, cool. I like that
they
idea.
actually do. So.
You just got hated by every gamer out there.
Oh no, people are going to be kissing his feet right now.
Oh, that's right. The popular thing was to
Hate Mass
was
Effect
to
3.
hate Mass Effect 3 because the ending was the same no matter what, or something.
No, there's differences in it, but people just don't. People thought they were entitled to. I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours playing these games over the years. Now I deserve a better ending, and it's like,
Well,
Didn't they actually make a different ending?
yeah, they did, and it ruined the game because a painter doesn't say, okay, sorry, critic that doesn't like the brushwork I did in this painting. I'm going to go back and change it. So why did BioWare? It really, really frustrates me that they do
Anyways, this is a
that.
Because
debate
BioWare
for
is
another
owned
podcast
by
or another
EA.
millennia, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is
Moving
this is
on.
a debate for some other time. What I was going to say earlier was before we figure out how to do a live stream Mario Kart 8, we should just do some like couch co-op video sometime and just put it up on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a section now on gamingnight.com where you can watch all types of video game footage.
Once again, this ad is brought to you by Jack Valentine.
I'm also going to mention that this website is literally 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in. So
yeah,
we're
there's
working on getting
Not a
some
lot there.
content.
I did speak last week about how reviews were going to be live soon.
Yep.
First review for Hohokum is live now.
Yep, I'm working on my review right now for Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil
Are
Edition.
you writing about it?
Yep,
Cool.
absolutely.
If I could figure out a way to get content from my PSP for Jeanne d'Arc, I would do one of those too, but that's a little harder. Sorry about that, guys.
Sam has rekindled his lost romance for
Yeah.
the PlayStation Portable.
Such a good
The
game.
late PlayStation Portable, might we add.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that Sony have
So
superseded
sad.
it.
Absolutely.
so
But we are
sad.
working on more content. I believe we're going to have a Kickstarter within the coming weeks, I think. It's
Yes,
going to
very
be
soon.
very soon. And then we're going to go live with trying to regulate all the videos we're going
on.
to be trying to make. So really excited for that.
UMDs were the future, man. They were the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Universal in that no
That
other
no
thing
other
could
thing.
use it.
Universal
Yeah.
Media Disc.
I think Sony's
Nice try.
pretty infamous for that, actually.
Yeah, proprietary.
Yeah.
shit
Remember
that no one
they had
can-
camera cards and memory cards for the Vita, and oh my
Well,
god.
Wait, let's look at these.
That memory stick
How about
Pro
instead
Duo.
of making this weird memory
Oh.
card, why don't you
Oh.
just use SD cards
The
so that
Memory
you can just
Stick
go and buy?
Pro Duo.
Yeah, exactly.
The Sony Magigate 1 gigabyte.
That can hold
I
lots.
got I had a 32 gig one when I got my PSP, and that was big. At the
Well,
time.
Absolutely.
Mine was 1
32
gig. apparently.
megabyte. Sorry, did I say gigabyte?
You said gigabyte.
Yeah, 32 megabyte.
Yeah,
That
mine was 532 megs or
Yeah.
something like that, and then I upgraded to the 1 gig.
Yeah, I would have been a
512,
god
Sam.
of time.
512, whatever. You know what I mean?
The number would be 512.
I would have been a god among men if I'd had a 32 gigabyte memory stick.
Back then?
Yeah.
When I went to school many years ago, I bought a 4 gig USB flash drive, and it was like $87
Yeah.
or something.
I-
And now I can buy them for
I
like
just got a solid
$7.
state in my
Did it look like
computer,
you had like
apparently.
a
You guys
stick in
are
your
all
pocket or something
babies.
when you were carrying it around? Or?
Yeah, it was
Matt?
basically a battery
So-
size.
so
No,
Matt,
it looked like a
Matt,
normal flash
Give
drive.
us some input
It even
there.
had a cool indicator on the side that showed you how much data
Wait,
you
give
used.
us some
that's
input.
good.
Yeah.
When I went to school, we still had the little hard
Dinosaurs
disk
were around.
and
Yeah.
floppy disks. Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Hey,
Right.
some of the
Yeah.
computers
Things
at
that you wrote in
ESA
the sand
still
wrote
have
Yeah.
still have
He's
floppy
just
disks.
chiseling on a stone.
So you think if I got a bigger Memory Stick Pro Duo, do you think it would implode?
Probably.
I don't think the PSP would read it.
Questions for after the podcast. Seeing as
Well.
we're at an hour and a minute now.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, well, anyway. So back to what I was saying before. We're going to wrap this up right now because apparently we've exceeded an hour on a week with no news. So, yeah, thank you very much for listening. This has been episode 3 of the LaggSpike podcast. You can always visit us at gaminglag.com, and you can get our... You can follow us on Twitter at GamingLag, 2 G's at the end of lag. I am Mike Chalice. You can follow me individually on Twitter at Chalicist.
My name is Jack Valentine. You can hear more about my weekly ravings and odd ramblings and hilarious retweets of people that I follow myself by following me at JackValentine93.
And I'm Matt Bird. You can follow me at Birdman1983. Use LeetSpeak or go to gamingleg.com in the About Us section and see how to spell it.
And me, for when I rarely tweet something, it's at Sandwich55.
And I think next week I'm going to try and actually count how many times we say gaminglag.com just to see how awful we are at plugging our own website. Anyway, that's it for that's it for us this week.
Hey, Matt, what's the
Thank you
website?
very much for listening. We appreciate all the support that everybody's giving us.
And we're out?
Yeah.
And we're out.
We're out.
We're out. GamingLag.com.